YouTube. Welcome back to Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and we're back at it. Trying to get this shop organized. We have some good news. Right after I did the video yesterday on the cleaning the shop, part 1, I went down and checked the mail. I am now a proud owner of my shop. As you guys know, I went and filled out the application to get registration in Vermont so that I can get a title for my trailer, because the title was so screwed up on this trailer that it wasn't funny. And come to find out, the DMV in Virginia made a mistake on that title. Instead of it having 17 numbers and letters in the VIN number, it only had 16. So even the DMV played their part in screwing that title up. Pretty much made it a void title. So it was untraceable. There was no way to find out anything about the trailer because it only had 16 digits in the VIN number. So with extensive looking hard for a VIN number on this trailer, I finally found the right number, and it was the right number. They was just missing one number in it. So, and it was right in the middle of the 17 numbers. But anyway, I am now a proud owner of my shop. All this time I was never actually an owner. Not documented anyway. I was an owner of it, but it was just not documented. So finally got it taken care of, and so now I can get insurance on my tools, and hopefully things will work out. If I need to sell it, I can sell it now with a title, if it ever comes to that, because I am looking to find a bigger shop, a fifth wheel preferably. If I can find a fifth wheel. I've got a guy on the line who, I don't think he's serious, but he said he had one that he would do some trading with me on it that's already gutted. All I have to do is rebuild benches and stuff like that to put the lathe and the mill and all my tools. But I've got one in the works. I'm working on him. It even comes with the fifth wheel that mounts in my truck, so hopefully that'll work out. Now, I'm not going to hold my breath on that, because it's been my observation that people tend to tell you what they think you want to hear, and once you get off the phone with them, you're forgot about. So I would venture to say that's the case here. He's just trying to be nice just to make me feel good so I can, I guess, help him further in life. I don't know. I haven't figured this world out yet. Anyway, so I guess the next thing we're going to do is tackle the drill press and get it taken care of. Now, yesterday I went and turned the light on, the tube light. I got a 2-tube light underneath that cabinet there that I guess it's time to replace it. I turned it on and the bulb started making a weird sound, and I noticed smoke coming out at one end. That right there is a prime example of why I'd like to have insurance on my shop, because if I lose everything in this shop, I've pretty much lost everything that I ever cared anything about. If my house caught on fire, I wouldn't miss anything compared to what I'd miss in here. So I'm going to have to take that light down and see if I can't figure out what's going on. I think if I remember correctly, it's a poorly designed light. It's just a regular shop light, and it's just poorly designed. And I find that a lot in the world today. A lot of poorly designed product, and basically all that poor design does is cause more problems. It doesn't solve anything. So I'm going to have to take it down and see what's going on with it. And I think I know what's going on with it. Those contacts that are on each end of the tube, they're out so far that there's a gap between the bulb and the plug about that far, and the pins are just barely touching those little contacts that's in there that are bent like that. So I think what it's doing is just arcing. It's not in there far enough. So what I need to do is push those in and affix them a little bit better so that they don't flex out when you go to put your tube up in there and turn it. So I'm hoping that's all it is. If that's not it, then I'm going to have to take the one down from here, because I have another one like this one here. Let me put you up there so we can show you. See, I got another wide one, 2-foot one, like this one, out in the building. So I can take that one and put it over the vise, and take the one that's over the vise and put it under here, and trash that one. Well, I won't trash it. I can use it for something else. If I build another hood for a fish tank, yeah, I can use that as a shroud. So these old tube lights, they ain't worth a shit. They don't last long. In fact, the one above the vise is actually my second one. The first one I got, I had it a month. I come out, flip the switch, and it didn't work no more. So they don't make good stuff anymore. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the drill press here, and I'll just bring you a little closer. I'm not going to put you up in my face. So we'll put this here metal steel block here for you guys to set on, and put you just a little bit closer. So first thing we want to do is we want to try to get this thing down. See, these things here come with that shower door installation kit that I got all them parts from Terry when I put a new shower door in his bathroom. I just haven't taken it apart and took all the bolts out of it and put it in my bolt bin. Most of this is going to stay here. The only thing that's going to go is just the bulky stuff, like, you know, plates, you know, drill plates that I use for, as you can see, that one's wore out. But them holes actually help me, especially when I'm using one of these bits. When I'm using one of these and I got to use this one up here, it'll sink down in them holes, and so them ones with the holes actually still help me out. So that, we need to find some more places to put blocks. So we need to get rid of all these wires. This is a wiring harness out of that one lawnmower that I'm still trying to keep. I don't want to get rid of it yet, because for the simple reason, if I do something with that generator and the motor, then I can use this wiring harness for that. There's a wire we can wrap up and put in our collection of stuff. What's this one? Oh, that's the headlight. Okay, so we'll just put that in a box with the rest of my wiring. And well, actually all this is not the lawnmower. Some of it is a switch for a door. And all that is, hold on here. Okay, that's two separate things. This here is for a door, for my door on my truck. And this is the wiring harness for the lawnmower. So we're going to put that aside and put it in a box and mark it lawnmower wiring harness. Speaking of generator, I had another guy comment on that, and he might be right. I don't know. I don't know enough about them generators to know whether they got a thrust bearing in it or not. We'll find out, I guess. Alright, now this here is basically my bolt bin, and there's a lot of stuff here that's trash. And we've got shock bushings there, that stays there in that bolt bin. Oh, that's a charger. And all my hoses go where the hoses go. Anybody tell me what that is? Out of a microwave. It's broke, and yes, I can save parts off of that if I can get it apart. You know what? It's not worth it. Throw it in the trash. And then we got a rocker switch that I'm going to keep because basically it's a double throw, double pole switch. So I'm going to keep that, and I can cut that stud off of there, and I can make that mount somewhere and use it on something. You never know when you might use it for something. Alright, then we got this. That can be used for something. That'll stay right there. Then I got handles that come off of some kind of a guitar case or something. It wasn't a guitar case, but it's the same kind as you'd see on a guitar case. Those will go I'm thinking about moving this box somewhere else, and I want to put a platform or a brick or a wall here to kind of keep all that in there. And I'm thinking about moving this box somewhere else, and then I'm going to build a fence the same height as this all the way around it, and that's going to be nothing but my bolt bin. That way, if I got a wall here, it'll stay on there. And that's why I want to move this and move my box that's got my tools in it, and then that'll be my big bolt bin, my go-to place for parts. Then I got my rag barrel over here. A lot of trash. I don't know how I would find out about that thrust bearing, if it's a thrust bearing or not, on the generator. Who knows? Maybe I'll just have to try to do some wheeling and dealing with somebody. 5 horsepower motor. In fact, that motor is, they have it at Harbor Freight, and it's less than $100 for that motor. So who knows? Maybe I can do some wheeling and dealing with somebody to get one for me or whatever. And I've got my lap sealant for the shop roof. I don't know how it got there. And yes, I use every one of these blocks. Even blocks like that, as you can see, well used. I use these for, let's say I wanted to clamp something in there that was wider than that. I could just set that in the vise and set that in there on top of it, and the clamp will hit it, and that'll be completely level. So I use all kinds of stuff like that. And it's getting ready to storm on us again. Now I got a nice set of bearings here. Those are sweet. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but those are sweet bearings. They're so smooth, it ain't funny. But we need to clean them up, make them look pretty again. You know, the only thing I don't like about these Eagle Oilers, I don't know if it's the nature of the beast, or if there's something actually wrong with these. I notice every time I turn around, I gotta wipe grease off of the top of those. You know, I don't see how grease or oil's getting on top of that like that, but it does nonetheless. So I don't know if there's just a seal that's bad in them or what, but I rebuilt these and I put new seals in them. But so I'm thinking that maybe it's just the nature of the beast. They look really good when I clean them up, but they look brand new once you clean them up. But this time next week, if I use this, it'll be all greased up again. So I don't know. I have to do both of them oilers the same way. This might be turn into a shop tour. Oh yeah, I forgot I had those. And I was actually looking for those. X-Acto knife collection. Oh, I know where I got that from. Ben. Ben gave them to me. And I've been looking everywhere for those. That was the guy who sent me all them discs for my grinder that I used faithfully, man. Thanks again, Ben. You guys are awesome up there in your shop. I hope you and your dad are watching me on this one too. Yeah, I was looking for this the other day to use on something on the Bison's Aquarium video. We're going to move it back here in the back, so we have to move it again later. Alright, what we got here? I would venture to say this is something that came from Ben also. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah. Ben sent this to me. This is my backup. I have a whole set right there that I use. I got 2 of these right here. A lot of them. Look at all those. And you still have to have another one. So you never have enough of these things here. So that'll go back here. The reason I am putting those back here by the mill is because there is actually a drawer that those are supposed to be in. So one of my projects, making washers. Aluminum washer, plastic washers. That goes in the scrap pile metal. These here come off of a ruler, and I'm wondering if maybe they can't be used for something one day down the road. So we're going to find a place for these. I don't know where. And I've had an earache all day, man. All day yesterday too. Well guys, I have company, as you can hear, so we'll pause that and get to my company and we'll resume. Alright, my company done left, and I kept having to stop myself from cleaning because while I was here, because he sat over there on the bench or the stool, and I started cleaning and I forgot that I was actually waiting until I got the video before I did the cleaning. But anyway, that's alright, we got plenty to clean. I want to get back on that tailgate and but I want to get this stuff cleaned up first before I start back on that tailgate. Yes, Matt, that's you. That's you texting me. He wants my anvil. I got this little 4.5-inch anvil, and when I showed it to him back when I got it, I think it was in a drawer or something of it was in a drawer of the cabinet that I got off of Craigslist, and the guy gave it to me, and it was all rusted up, and I cleaned it up and painted it and cleaned the top of it and oiled it, and in fact it needs a little bit more on it. And I was cleaning here and seen it and thought, well, you know what, I ain't never touched that thing, ain't never used it, and I know somebody that does want it and who would use it and who would actually appreciate it, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and give that to you, Matt. So as soon as I get the money for shipping, I'll ship this out to you. Need an address though. You're going to have to text me your address. So anyway, we're trying to get all this cleaned up. And it's hell when you let them get that far. So now we need to bring the trash can over here. And see if we can't get that stuff to get down in it. Well, let's clean the top off first. If I clean the bottom, then I go clean the top, then I gotta start all over and clean the bottom. So we get that cleaned off. Let's unplug that so I can get that cord out of the way. Yes, Matt. As soon as I get done with this, I will answer you back. This is funny. He's texting me and I'm talking to him over a video. He'll get to see the answer once I get it uploaded. I got my shop vac that I usually do this with, but the system is clogged somewhere and it's not working properly. So that's another thing I got to add to the cleaning list. I got to take the shop vac apart and all the duct work for the central vac, because I got a central vac that I put in here with a cyclone on it that I built myself. You have to look at that video way back when I first started Bison Workshop. The cyclone I made using some flashing, aluminum flashing, actual kitchen bowl, plastic, clear plastic bowl, bunch of fittings. Yeah, you have to check that out. That's actually funny. Alright, so now the drill press is clean. And that cord, I would like to have it up here somewhere. Yeah, that'll work. Alright. So now we've got the drill press clean, and I'm trying to find what I do with that. Right here it is. I'm missing one of these. I've got two of these. One goes there. The other one's over here. And then I got that one. Goes there, and that is done. Now I can put my blocks back here in the back, and those are for different applications. Like I say, when I want to drill something, and all I want to do is just put that in there to raise it, or whatever. And I'll set that there until you get your turn. Alright, let's see what cool, I have a miniature surface plate I put it with on my desk. I'll have to think of something to trade you, and no, it won't be my DRO. Well, that's what I wanted. No, Matt, you ain't gonna give me nothing, man. This is a gift from the Bison Workshop. So anyway, I guess we're just going to do one tool at a time. So we've got, because this is going to be a pretty long video, so we've got this set up and ready to go for when we get ready to do the tailgate. I got to do some work on this. I got to find out why that thing's doing that. I don't know what's causing that, so we're going to have to find out. At first I thought it was my adjustments for my Gibbs, but it's not. It's in the lead screw itself. Of course, this was a cheap old frickin' table. I wish I had a better quality one. But you know, this was, I think I paid $50 for it or something like that. And it's junk. So I got to figure out how I'm going to get that play out there. I got to figure out where it's coming from first. This one's the same way. Yeah, that one's the same way. So you can't do anything precision on this. Anything precision has to be done on the mill. Because this here is basically just for getting close. It's not a precise deal. So drill press is not a precise tool anyway. So trying to expect milling quality out of a drill press, you're kind of pissing in the wind. So there we have the drill press done, and we're going to actually make several parts of this cleaning video, and eventually we'll be all the way around the shop. That way you guys get a tour of what's in my shop and you get to see what I work with. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep going with this, cleaning my shop, part 1, which was the lathe, part 2, drill press, part 3, the mill, and we're organizing as we go. But this is the one that is the nightmare. This is the nightmare. And it has to be that way because I've got so much steel and metal that can be used for my projects. I just don't want to get rid of it. I like my steel, I like my metal, I like having that option there, I like having the pieces that I need for whatever I do. You know, I got all this little stuff up in there that I go through and get a piece out of. Like for instance, I'll show you. Well, you know what, I'm not going to show you for the simple reason the tailgate is a separate video, and I'm getting ready to do a tailgate video. I've got the shop clean enough that I can go ahead and start working on this tailgate again and clean at the same time. So the next video I put up is probably going to be on the tailgate, and you're going to like it. You're going to love the idea that I came up with. I'm actually shocked that my brain came up with it. You know I'm full of shit, right? I am very confident in my brain. It's this part that bothers me, because this part doesn't get this part out like it's supposed to be. It's correct in my head, it's just wrong when it comes out of my mouth. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this little chat rant, whatever the hell it's called. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Later, guys.